and welcome back to Anime-chan, where today we're going to be looking at my reaction highlights of episode 50 of Attack on Titan. So it's the first episode of Attack on Titan season 3 part 2. I just want to give you all a heads up that over the last couple of days I've been having a little bit of anxiety issues, and then just before watching Attack on Titan I actually watched Game of Thrones season 8 episode 3, which was a complete shit show, and not in a bad way. It was just the battle of Winterfell. Like, it was the biggest battle cinematically that I've ever seen. For me, it was worse than Endgame. I watched Endgame on Thursday, and it was a lot, but for me personally, that episode of Game of Thrones was so much worse. And right after that, yeah, I watched Attack on Titan. I've already watched it by now, obviously. I'm just doing my intro afterwards. And the reason I'm telling you all of this is because you can see throughout my reaction while I was watching, I was already anxious and nervous and short of breath before watching the episode. So while watching the episode, I don't know how to explain it. You will definitely see in a second. I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that I was on the edge already. But I have to be honest that it wasn't as bad as I expected. I guess I expected this to be the battle, and instead it was leading up to the battle, which I think is going to be next episode. It's going to be what Erwin said. The deciding moment. Who wins? Which side gets to live on? Titans versus people. Humanity. And although I think that is what the fight is going to be, it's obviously not going to end there, because we know there will at least be like 2 more seasons at least of Attack on Titan, according to manga readers, based on how much information there is left. So as big as the fight is going to be, there's still so much more to come, and I don't understand. But yeah, without further ado, please enjoy my reaction highlights and stick around for my review at the end. I will be sharing some more thoughts.
ウォールマリア領は人類に残された領土の3分の1にあたる。もう生きてはいけないのだと。なぜなら人類は巨人に勝てないのだから。巨人を突き殺し、その巨大な頭を大地に踏みつけた。それを見た人類はウォールマリアを奪還したなら人類は何を叫ぶだろう。人類は生きていいのだと信じさせることができるだろうか。
I hope so.
ウォールマリアさえ奪還すれば。
麓はまだか。夜が明けちまうぞ。
この山さえ越えれば志願しなくはすぐそこだ。
左に巨人！絶対停止！周囲を手せ！
New types. I forgot about that. Why?
ほっといてやろう。
Are you sure though? Are you sure though?
私たちはきっとこの闇夜に守られている。月の光は太陽光の反射だからね。あの時と同じことが起こらない保証は何もない。今の子も月光の巨人だったのかもしれないからね。
なんだ？何がそんなに怖いんだ？
Any normal person would be scared,
こんな調
Aaron.
子でウォールマリア奪還に失敗したらどうなる？こんな奴がどうやって人類を救うって言うんだよ。こんな奴がどうやって。
嘘だ。手が震えてるもん。
これ寒いんだよ。手がなんかすっげえ寒い。
そんな僕を君は巨人の口から出してくれたんだ。なんで君はあんなことができたの？
考えたこともなかったんだ。毎日空か雲を見て過ごしてたっけ。そこで初めて知ったんだ。俺は不自由なんだって。広い世界の小さなカゴでそれが分かった時許せないと思った。なんで
Little
か知らない
Aaron, who's a little
けど
blanket.
俺は自由を取り返すためなら。ありがとな。もう大丈夫だ。 麓が見えたぞ。街道跡がある。
僕たちの故郷に。
物陰に潜む巨人に警戒せよ。これより作戦を開始する。総員立体軌道に移れ。ここにいるのはフードで顔を隠した総員100名の兵士。誰がエレンか分かった時はすでに。
止まるな。
His hand was shaking again.
了解。
近くにベルトルトとライナーが。
取り返してやる。
やっぱりおかしいな。巨人が一匹もいないのは。
We can do
俺
this.
たちならできる。なぜなら俺たちは生まれた時からみんな特別で。
Already halfway? How is that even fucking possible? Information available for public disclosure. Glowing ore. Ore harvested from the Rice family's underground cavern, thought to be produced by some sort of titan power. It emits more light than a torch and with appropriate manufacturing can greatly extend nighttime operations. What? That's insane. Let me just quickly take a deep breath or two because I never, like, people often ask me, like, why do you yawn so much? Are you tired? It's not that I'm tired. It's sometimes when my breathing is really shallow, it's like my body yawns to compensate for, like, I need the what do you call it? Seerstof. I don't know what seerstof is. I don't know what's called in English. You know, oxygen. So I just need to take a couple of deep breaths because I am not breathing while watching this. Oh yes, he just has to close up the hole.
立体起動装置は
無事だ。でもやっぱりマントは持っていかれちまった。しっかり塞がってます。
やったエレン調子は。
本当に塞がったのか。こうもあっさり。
あなたがやった。自分の力を信じて。
ライナーやベルトルトら全ての敵を殺しきるまでウォールマリア奪還作戦は完了しない。当然分かっています。
やはり何者かが野営していた模様です。トットは冷め切って地面に闘具が散乱していました。いい匂い。何の飲み物だ。それと黒い液体を注いだ跡があるカップが3つ。
Coffee?
少なくとも
我々は馬と立体軌道を駆使して全力でここに到達した。ここから我々の接近に音や目視で気づいたのならか、それ以上前に我々の接近を知り、それに備える時間も十分にあったというわけだ。しかしどうやって。今は敵の位置の特定を第一とする。アルレルト、君はその頭で何度も我々を窮地から救い出してくれた。これよりアルミン・アルレルトの指示に従い捜索を続行せよ。
You're in charge of people. Poor little Armin.
区内の二手に分かれて内門周辺の建物を調べてください。何かあれば音響弾で知らせよ。
また大きくかけたな。いや、実績を見て判断した。彼は我々の大きな武器の一つだ。隠し事があるのは彼らだけではないからな。
なんで敵は穴を塞がれても出てこない。こんなに探してもまだ見つからないなんて終わりなんだ。何もかも。敵はいつもありえない方法で僕らの予想外から攻めてくる。僕らがいつも不利なのはいつも。
Don't. What? I'm gasping for no reason because I'm so scared. Everything is scaring me. Did he think of something?
アルレルト見つけたのか。敵はどこだ。
窓です。全員で壁を調べてください。
お お前今がどういう時だか分かってるのか。そんなことにかける時間はないんだ。
しかし敵は誰でも思いつく常識の範疇にとどまっていては到底敵を上回ることはできないのです。総員、壁の上に散らばって待機だ。
了解。
時に厳格に、時に柔軟に、我々は勝利するためにここに来たのだ。
再び二手に分かれ壁面の調査を。
また何か考えが。
常に状況が見渡せる位置。もしそんな資格があるとすれば壁の中しかない。
That looks weak. That looks weak. It's not gonna be enough. He's gonna turn into a Titan now because it was in the fucking intro.
命を立てなかった。
周囲を見渡せ。他の敵を捕捉し。
Fuck, I knew it! Why? How did they all turn into Titans so suddenly? That this will be the end.
決着をつけようと。人類と巨人ども。
You wanna make me cry, aren't you? You just wanna make me cry. Sasha and her potato. So it's just reminding me how angry I was at Bertolt and Reiner. Is there gonna be a preview? Ah, fuck everyone who tells me not to watch the previews. I'm gonna watch the previews.
エレンたちの前に立ちはだかる。次回、雷槍。
Thunder Spears. Thunder Spears? The fuck? And it's time for the review of Season 3, Part 2, Episode 1 of Attack on Titan. I actually took a 30-minute break after finishing the episode just to get my breath back, because I literally, as I mentioned in the intro, I had just finished watching Game of Thrones, and 10 minutes later I started watching Attack on Titan. And before doing this review part, I just felt like I need to take 30 minutes to just get my emotions under control, get my breath under control. I actually ended up making myself some tea, so I just, whew, now I'm ready to talk about the episode, because after finishing it, I was physically shooketh. I was, throughout the episode, I could feel my arms every couple of seconds just, it's like I was tense like this, and then, it was so crazy. But I feel so much better now, after taking that break, after making myself some tea. Now I can talk about the actual episode in a review format, and not just freak out about everything that happened. So I want to start with the intro. I think it was, you guys want my honest thoughts, right? We're here for my honest thoughts. So I love the first two Attack on Titan openings. I think I like the first one more than the second one, but I loved the third one more than the first and the second one put together. Now we have our fourth opening, and not a big fan, I have to say. I have to be honest. I like this rainbow thing. I feel like it represents hope. I'm not sure if it does, but that's what I feel, because that's what a rainbow symbolizes. A rainbow symbolizes hope. You know, after the storm comes the rainbow, but it's rainbow blood. Looks like it. So you don't know. It could be them just giving us hope, only to take it away a couple of episodes later, because that makes it so much worse, you know. Some parts of the intro I didn't like. Some of it felt like bad CGI for some reason, but that may just be me, or maybe it was the proportions. I'm not exactly sure. I think it was this part that bothered me. Like, I don't know, I felt like the proportions were a little bit, but it's a split second. It's literally like that. I don't know, maybe something about that colossal titan bothered me. But actually, now that I watched through the intro quickly now to try and find this, and I realized, like, well, no, it's great. The visuals are great, but the song, I guess they were probably maybe worried about the people that didn't like the season 3 opening. I heard it was really controversial because it was this more, it fit with the season though, season 3 part 1. I feel like that more emotional intro fit better. So I was probably one of the few people that absolutely loved it. And now it feels like they kind of went back to the action. So maybe that means this season will be filled with a lot more action again. Not that I feel like season 3 part 1 was missing any action. So I don't really know. But conclusively, really like the visuals, except for the little few seconds of weird animation. But overall, visuals are great. I really like the rainbow spats of blood, very interesting. And the end here, let me just make this so that you can see. There we go. This is quite interesting. It ends with this leading to, I think, the underground. I'm not entirely sure if that's where it's leading, but that's what. Oh no! Oh, it's the basement. Is it the basement? It's the basement, isn't it? Oh, it's the basement. I just realized that just now. Okay. Fuck. You guys, I was laughing at myself sometimes throughout editing of season 3 part 1, because there would be this random battle, not a random battle, but there would be a battle, and then I would just randomly scream, "What's in the basement?" Because it's this question that's constantly in my mind. It feels like that's the key to everything, the key to understanding why all of this is happening, where it's all leading, how we can stop it. It's just that, for example, and I'm using an example from Game of Thrones, but in season 8 episode 3, it was this big fucking war, and they did it so well, and I was, in my mind, all I could think was, this is war. This is how it is. It's fucked up. And we should do anything in our power as humans, as people, to avoid that. I feel like as much as sometimes two people punching it out can help, you know, just a fight, sometimes you just need to explode and fight. Very manly people sometimes need to punch it out, you know. And as much as I can understand that, war isn't that. War it's not human. It is the worst. It's awful. It is. I can't even begin to really imagine it. I can try. After watching that episode, I can try. I can see how it could feel, but no, it doesn't come close to the actual thing. And that's why I'm saying, like, regardless of how angry Bertolt and Reiner make me, and the fact that what they did, and if there's anything, any way that we can avoid further conflict, I just wish we could take that opportunity. But I mean, that wouldn't make for the most exciting story now, would it? And that's why at the end of Lost season 3 part 1, I remember just thinking, is there no way you can just find out what they want and try and, I don't know, avoid any more fighting? Because I'm so tired, I'm so scared, but I know that that's not where this is going. There is gonna be a fight, and it's gonna be bad. All we can do is hope that our favorites don't die, you know? But I think maybe that is what things like Attack on Titan, Game of Thrones, maybe there's an underlying message somewhere for us as people. Like, do you want this to happen? Do you want this to be how far it goes? Like, can we not stop all this pointless conflict before it gets this bad? And to tell you the truth, it's already this bad. There's already parts of the world that how do you come back from that? I don't know. I feel like I'm having I feel like, what's the point of everything? Why must we? Okay, before I start letting my those kinds of thoughts take over, let me just talk about the episode and not question the world. It started with them going towards the wall. The first half of the episode felt like it was 5 minutes. What was this? Why was this shown? I feel like there's 24, okay, no, not even 24. There's like 20 minutes per episode, maybe even a little bit less. And they're already, they have to adapt the manga into an anime. So they're dropping some information that they don't feel is necessary. So every single scene they put into the anime has to mean something. What was the meaning of this? Why? How? Who are you, Titan Man? What new type of Titan? And so they're thinking that the sun is the reason, the thing that powers the Titans. And even the reflection of the sunlight on the moon is why maybe they've made improved Titans that doesn't need sunshine. They can even use as little light that is reflected from the moon. That's how those Titans were able to be active even at night. But now this one, it could be a moon Titan and one of the new ones, but there is barely any light because there isn't a moon. So, but why show us all of this? Was it just for that information to make sure we are reminded of the moon and the lights? And by the time they got to the wall and to Shiganshina, it was day and there were no Titans. But then when they found Bertolt, suddenly there were Titans. The Monkey Titan, the Beast Titan, whatever you want to call it. And it looked like there were mindless Titans around him. And I will need to look at that scene again real quick, but how? I know there are people who don't like Eren, who think he's, I don't really know the right words to use, but I remember when that whole reveal came to be where it was shown to us that Bertolt and Reiner are Titans. And I remember also getting frustrated with Eren for getting stuck in his thoughts instead of acting when it was necessary to act. I still feel like if he had acted sooner, if his reflexes were better, if he held his emotions to feel later, feel sad later, think about all that stuff later, fight now, because in that moment it was fight or flight. And I feel like his emotions in that moment held him back from what he could have done. He could have done a lot of other things. And that's one of the reasons why so many people love Mikasa, because she does what is needed to do now. But Mikasa's kind of, she can take it too much to the other side, where she only thinks of one thing and doesn't consider other consequences afterwards. But you need a balance. You need to fight when it's time to fight, but that doesn't mean you can't feel sad about having to fight or whatever. So I understand, like, a lot of people were mad at me at that time because they were arguing, oh, he's just a boy, and da 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 da. And yeah, a lot of people got really frustrated with me about being mad at Eren. But I think they took it the wrong way, because I actually absolutely love Eren. And it's just in certain situations where you don't have time to think, you have to act. And that was one of the times between Bertolt and Reiner and Eren where I got frustrated with him. And then again, when he was in the cave, and I felt the same way that Historia felt, like, hello, fight now, cry later. And I was so happy in that episode, because Historia mirrored my feelings when she kind of like hit him over the head and told him to get his shit together. Because yes, we can understand how he must have felt, but there's not always time to understand feelings. Sometimes you have to really just throw them aside, do what needs to be done, and then afterwards, you know, take that moment to feel sad or to break down or to whatever. So yeah, I really enjoyed episodes like that, because his friends helped him in that episode in the cave. They kind of gave him the courage he needed to get over those feelings of being unworthy, feelings of guilt, feelings of all of that, and he did what needed to be done in that moment. So yeah, I loved Eren, and I could see, I read one or two comments in the Crunchyroll, on the Crunchyroll comment section, and like there's already one person that's saying how much he's becoming one of his least favorite characters because of how scared he was. And I'm like, let me actually read it. Eren has superhuman powers and still lacks confidence. Just think of what it's like for the normal humans who can easily die and lose limbs. He's becoming one of my least favorite characters. And I feel like I can understand where that person's coming from, because I've been there where I got mad at him. But he never went from being my favorite character to my least favorite character. As mad as I got at him sometimes, he's always been a great character in my opinion, because he is human. But I think it's a little bit unfair to expect him, just because he has superhuman powers, to not be scared when he doesn't even understand those powers. He's up against at least 3 people with the same powers that knows their powers, you know? So I feel like it's kind of unfair to not even allow him in this space. He's going towards the fight. It's not like he's cowering in fear saying, no, I don't want to go. I'm not that fucked up. He doesn't have to, like, being scared is one thing. And it's not like, how do I explain this? Just like Armin is scared, I think it's fine for Eren to be scared, because he's still going towards the danger. He's not running away from it. Yes, he's doubting himself, but who wouldn't doubt themselves in that situation? There's nothing more he can do in this situation other than move towards what he's afraid of, and that's what he's doing. Like, what more do you want him to do in this situation? I can understand if in a fight or flight situation, if he doesn't fight because of he's doubting himself, that's one thing. But here, there's nothing else he can do. He's moving towards the fucking fight. How can you hate him for just being scared on the way? That I don't really understand. But no one needs to like Eren. If you feel like, oh, he's a wussy, whatever, is fine. I feel like he's still one of the most badass characters ever to keep fighting despite how scared he is, and to keep fighting despite the fact that humanity's hope, he's all of their hope is on him, on his shoulders. And I feel like it's amazing how he realizes that he doesn't have to do this alone. As special as Levi is, as special as Mikasa is, as special as Armin is, they couldn't do anything by themselves. And Eren is the same. He has something that makes him special too. He has his Titan powers. But alone, he couldn't do anything. And that's why I love these kinds of scenes. This one here, for example, where he and Armin were talking, because it shows like they're stronger together. And I really love that. And it's fine if there are people that doesn't like Eren, but I'm just going to say that he's still my favorite. There were quite a few flashbacks in this episode. Even the intro was basically resetting up how we got to where we are, and yeah, even in this scene there were quite a few flashbacks. And for me, as a person who caught up in it with Attack on Titan in about a year, I don't actually know when I posted my first Attack on Titan video. Let's check. Playlists, Attack on Titan. My very first Attack on Titan video. Look how cute I look with my little fringe and my not such a cute setup. Okay, sorry. So my very first Attack on Titan video was posted on August 12th, 2018. So I caught up in less than a year. So for me, any flashbacks are kind of like, I remember this, I don't want to see it again. And I mean, I finished the last season just the other day, less than a week, or about a week ago, yeah. So flashbacks for me are a little bit like, you have to waste time on that, like, let's get on with the story. But for everyone else who, I don't know, it's been 4 years, more than 4 years, right? I don't know when season 1 came out, and then season 2, and now season 3, and now then you had to wait like 6 months for season 3 part 2. So I know that it was probably different for you guys. I'm just getting some recaps on past scenes. Almost all of the things that were shown in the trailer, I think, was shown in this episode. So literally, we don't know what's coming, except for the scene at the end of season 3 part 1, the last episode. That scene with Levi and Eren and them fighting. I wonder what's that about. Like, we haven't seen that, and I don't think we're going to see it in the next episode either. It's going to be after the whole fight. But at least if we know that these three survived the fight. But Armin wasn't there. It was just Eren, Mikasa, and Levi. Oof, please don't take my little Armin. Shame. Eren plugged up the first hole quite quickly. So all that practice definitely paid off. And that's obviously why everyone told him to rest, because he's going to have to work really hard in this whole fight, because not only does he need to use this hardening ability twice to plug up those holes, now there's also Bertolt and Reiner plus the Beast Titan to fight with. It seems almost impossible that they could win this. But we have to remember that they have Levi, they have Mikasa, they have Armin, and Armin was really impressive in this episode. So not all hope is lost. I love what Levi said here. No matter how much you plug it, they'll break the wall as long as they live, until we kill Reiner, Bertolt, and any other enemies. So even if he plugs up the holes, they have to defeat Titans, because otherwise there's just going to be more. Like all of what they went through up to now is just going to happen again. And that makes me wonder, Historia isn't here, right? She's back being queen. Although Eren is the power, the coordinates, his power can't be properly used unless he had rice blood. He doesn't have rice blood. Rice blood. Rice. So could they control the Titans? Can the Titans be defeated without the power being in the right vessel? Is it possible? We don't know, because we know so little about the Titans and why they exist and how they work. We know so little, and that is what's so frustrating, because as an anime viewer, we know so little. Imagine how it must feel to be there and fight against things you know nothing about. What the fuck? It's not an easy place to be. Of course you're going to be scared. Even if you have the Titan powers, you're going to be scared. And that's why what Levi says is so important. This battle won't be won until Reiner and Bertolt until they're dead. Or whoever controls them, whoever, because Reiner said, oh, I don't have a will of my own. So, but they're following someone's orders. They're following someone's will, and that will needs to be killed. Otherwise, the war will continue. I would like to know if they were drinking coffee. There were 3 cups with drops of black liquid in it. Were they having coffee? Please tell me this. And I think that's kind of a hint that they're a different civilization. They might have technology far too superior to what the scouts and the people inside the walls have. I think it was just kind of supposed to show us that Armin doesn't know what they were drinking. So that means that they have different types of food, different types of weapons, different types of far superior knowledge. And it's just more hints at what they're facing. Something completely, an enemy completely unknown to them. This whole scene between, the whole, whenever Erwin and Armin are talking, it just really goes to show how valuable their minds are. They're so smart. And as important as brute strength is, people like Erwin and Armin, people who can think further, see things differently, in the same way that Eren said to Armin, you were looking at something I couldn't see. Like, he had this vision. And yeah, that's very, very important. And they're very, very valuable characters. And that's why it worries me that Erwin didn't listen to Levi. On one hand, he definitely should be there because he is the commander. Like, his presence inspires others. But it would be such a loss for our side. And by our side, I mean the scouts, because that's the side I have chosen. Whatever the other side shows me who they are, what they've done already to me is wrong. So I've chosen my side, the scouts. And it would be such a loss for our side if Armin or Erwin were lost. And I just hope that they both make it out of this fight. But it worries me that from my memory, Armin wasn't there at the end of season 3, part 1, episode 12. It was just Levi, Mikasa, and Eren. So that worries me a little bit. The scene where Armin is thinking, like you can almost see the wheels turning in his mind. I feel like this was very well done because it made me anxious. I remember sitting here getting worked up because of how the words he was saying, the angles they were showing. Like, there was this part where upside down. I remember feeling like my mind was turning upside down just seeing all of this. This was a really great scene in my opinion. I loved how they did this. And then he figured it out. And I remember gasping at this because it wasn't really there, but I was so focused on everything that was going on, and my mind felt turned upside down, and then boom, saw this face. I was like, and yeah, it's so amazing that he figured this out. And then he told everyone to search the walls again, and that's when they found Bertolt. It was awful. I don't even know this guy. This guy, I don't even know him, but how he just floop, and then Levi, fucking in an instant he was there, and he literally fucking killed Reiner, and yet that wasn't enough. He should have chopped off his damn head, because I knew what was coming. When I saw this, I knew it was coming because we saw it in the trailer. Boom, fucking armor titan. And now, and this, why? Where? See, that those look like mindless titans. Oh, maybe he controlled them. Look at their red eyes. Does that mean he's mind controlling them? Does he have that power? We've seen before that he has the power to control the titans. But why? And how did they change? Maybe they were people. Like, you know how, I don't know if you guys watch Game of Thrones, but you know how characters get killed, and then the other character literally uses, even after they're dead, then he has to do this, and then they turn into undead. What if these were dead people, and then he uses something to turn them into titans? Because I don't know. Because they all change together. All of them there suddenly with the Beast Titan. What the fuck? And then he threw them with the rock. What the hell? Look at these titans. They're definitely not shifters. Look at that one with that thing on his back. Why does he have stuff on his back? How? Where did he get the stuff on his back? What's going on? I don't understand. I really like that the ending song is basically just flashbacks from the first couple of seasons. I really like that. And the next episode is called Thunder Spears. I don't have much more to say other than that, and not a lot of information was revealed in this episode. It was more just the introduction to the big fight. Yeah, the whole episode through I couldn't breathe because I thought it was gonna break out any moment. But it's all gonna happen next week. Thunder Spears. What is in the basement? Can't wait. I'm really excited. I'd love to know what you guys thought of the first episode. What do you think of the new opening song and the visuals and stuff? I think the whole episode was amazing. The visuals were amazing. And I'm looking forward to the next episode. I don't know. I don't think we're ready. Thank you so much for watching with me. Thank you so much for hearing my thoughts on the episode. I'll see you guys next week for the next one.